Well, good afternoon. Aloha mai kako. Aloha.
Aloha.
I want to begin, first of all, by extending a big personal mahalo to all of you for, again, being a part of this annual convention. I would also like to congratulate and thank Robin Danner and the entire CNHA staff for, once again, creating another opportunity for all of us to come together and discuss the steps that we need to take now to accomplish the promise of a better future. I'm humbled by the extraordinary efforts of everyone involved in bringing this day to fruition, and I'm honored to be here to share my mana'o with all of you during this critical time in our people's history. For today's convention, I believe, comes at a very unique time for Hawaiians in our state. This past Friday, I participated and attended the conference commemorating our state's 50th anniversary. A part of the conference involved a panel discussion on the future of Native Hawaiians, which I found to be very interesting and which I think many in the audience found to be very enlightening. It was an open and honest discussion, and it was important because I think too often the wounds of the Hawaiian people and our history are not addressed with the attention and care that it rightfully deserves. As a native Hawaiian, I appreciate the conflicted feelings many of us have about statehood, given the events surrounding the overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy. For those of you who did not see the panel discussion, I'm sure you could guess at what issues were brought up. Statehood, the Akaka Bill, and ceded lands. But these issues are not new, nor are they groundbreaking issues. Rather, they are long-standing dilemmas that have yet to be resolved. So the questions remain: when will we, as a community, be able to achieve consensus on these important issues and turn talk into results? And when can our kapuna have peace with the status of our people? Until we address these challenges, we will continue to carry their burden. But I'm not here to force the resolution of these issues upon any of you, and I will not force their resolution in the future. For any lasting resolution must come from the Hawaiian community, and not any elected official. It's our community, and our community can determine the future of our people. But if we do not come together now and move past our differences to forge a lasting solution, it is our children who will suffer. And it will be our keiki who will be left to do what we were unable or unwilling to do. As a former state judge, I was often called upon to settle disputes by determining which party bore the responsibility to resolve a particular problem. But the Hawaiian community does not need to wait for a judge or anyone else to remind us that we are all responsible and accountable for preserving our culture, protecting our precious resources, and empowering our community to succeed. But I would submit that at no other time have we, as a community, understood the importance of self-governance. At no other time have we been in a stronger position with those in all levels of government to work toward and advocate so strongly the right of Native Hawaiians to self-determination. We have a real chance today to make decisions that will lead to a brighter, more prosperous future. Like others of Native ancestry, we have an obligation to perpetuate our culture and the practices of our ancestors for future generations. We also have a right to pursue success and prosperity in modern day society. For the two are not mutually exclusive, but I would say that they are indeed complementary. As part of your participation in this conference, I believe many of you will be attending workshops on Hawaiian Oli, as well as plenary sessions on obtaining funding and resources. We as a Native people instinctively understand our unique coexistence. We also understand that we must fight to preserve organizations that, like us, honor our past while also moving us forward into the future. But taking responsibility to preserve our culture and empower our community does not end with attending a conference and listening to speeches. It does not end with attending a cultural workshop, a rally, or even a march. We must practice taking responsibility for our culture and our community every day. We must hold true to our past and to our ancestors. We must always protect and preserve our heritage and our environment, whether it be the iwi of our ancestors, the cultural practices from days long past, or the natural resources that must be protected for generations to come. We must build bridges of trust between Hawaiian service providers and the Hawaiian communities that they serve. We must develop and nurture economic engines that provide our people and communities with jobs that not only pay well, but also help them achieve who they are as a people. We must form coalitions and partnerships as Native Hawaiians working together, as well as with our Native cousins, whether they are Polynesian, Native American, or Alaskan Native. We must become politically active and responsible. United States and Hawaii history reveal the successes of ethnic groups who have tapped into the power of the ballot box. Our elected officials, Republican, Democrat, or Independent, must know that we exist, that we remember, and that we vote. We must also model appropriate behavior for others and represent the change we want to see in the world. Living healthy lives, combating illicit drug use, putting an end to violent behavior. That is what taking responsibility and accountability for our community is all about. And let me be very clear with you where I stand on this kuleana of responsibility and accountability. If you will not take responsibility and accountability for yourself, your family, and your community, then I'm unable to discuss with you issues of sovereignty. And if you are gaming the government for benefits and not a contributing member of your community by using illicit drugs, neglecting your keiki, and engaging in domestic violence, I believe you cannot say that you are sovereign. For responsibility and accountability, that is how we, as a people, can preserve our culture, protect our resources, and empower our community to succeed. You know, as a fellow Hawaiian, this is what I see. As I look around this room today, I see numerous examples of people who, without prompting or any fanfare, are providing essential services to the Hawaiian community. I see a future in which every Native Hawaiian takes the responsibility to empower themselves, their family, and their community. And with your help, and the help of many like you, I believe this future will happen. If we believe it, we will see it. Please continue to join together, not only with your actions and your words, but also with your hearts and your spirit of aloha. For only then will we be able to establish a sound foundation upon which this future may begin. Mahalo pia, aloha ke akua. God bless you all.